Hello everyone, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to another video. This is a Demoscene report for the 9th of October 2024. If you're new to this format, I usually compile all the news and releases that I could find regarding the Demoscene community, the digital art culture that I follow and am an active participant on. Talk a little bit about everything that I could find, and I also link everything on the description below, so if you want to check that at your own leisure, you have all the links. This was a pretty busy week for the Demoscene. A few demo parties happening. I actually went to one of them, the Deadline Demoparty in Berlin. I will do a proper video report out of that later on, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with some of the loose news and things that came out throughout the week, and then we'll talk about the other demo parties. Starting off with a pack disc that was released for the Atari XL XE, made by JAC, packing together on a single disc all of the releases for the Atari XL XE that were released at Silly Venture Summer Edition, because they happen twice a year, that take place in Poland. So if you missed Silly Venture and you like the Atari Demoscene, you can download this demo disc and just check all of the releases. Then there were a few more updates on Marquee Design's microblog. Super Rogue has been steadily doing more write-ups on the intros that he's been doing throughout the last few years. The latest updates are on picology, gyro, corda, looper, and Microlair. So if you want to read more about size coding, check out Marquee Design's blog for that. Then I found this YouTube channel dedicated to doing weekly news to the Commodore 64, similar to what Amiga Build does for the Amiga, but more focused around Commodore 64. So I thought some of you Commodore 64 people might be interested in following that. I also found this cool write-up of porting Quake to this Arduino Nano motherboard. It also talks about the original Game Boy Advance port of Quake, which was already quite limited in terms of memory, and how that influenced them to, try to do something similar but for more modern hardware with also memory limitations. And we had another pack disc release, but this time for the Amiga, the Crapbox 31, including some new things from the Demoscene that was released on August to September 2024. Bakus of FairLight did this nice interview with Matcham of Network for the FairLight TV channel on YouTube as well, so check that out. And then, of course, we have to talk about Deadline, the demo party that just took place. I visited, as I already previously mentioned. It was quite cool, good amount of people, a lot of quality competitions. There were some delays on some of the competitions because of the overwhelming amount of productions released, but it was a very cool party overall, had very cool chats with different people. So let's take a look at the different competitions that happened at the Deadline and talk a little bit about all of the different entries. Starting off with the 256-byte intro competition. We had an intro for Linux by Mega Shaft on 13th position, just a basic game of life sort of effect. Then we have Wave 3D by Aurora B for the TIC 80 with a multi-scene effect. Mando brought a hyperdrive also for the TIC 80, single scene by PSCL. I also did a small contribution, signed Bob's 2. Then we had the Plasmatiche by Harvey of Team Tintelion, which I believe was in BASIC for the Commodore 64, 256-byte intro scrolling a plasma screen. Posting Deadline, Ray Marchers are killing the scene on the TIC 80. Peligus, as usual, doing his Ray Marcher. 7th place, Sextans by Vlad, only 128 bytes, but the effect was rather simple, but it did have sound, so extra points for that. Then we had in 6th place Starblaze by Docs, very stunning effect for the Micro W8. More WebAssembly based platform for those who don't know. Plasmoroid by Plex of Biona FX, doing this very good biome voxel world, I would guess, with some good layers with the clouds. So yeah, that got 5th place. In 4th place, Party Acceleration by T-Drinker, also for the Micro W8, and I particularly liked that it had both sound and the progression with both the effect and the sound. So I actually thought that this one would win the competition, or get 2nd place at least in the competition, and you will see why in a little while. Fiberglass by Digimind. Digimind is a veteran of size coding. He does awesome stuff. This one for DOS also pretty good. Also has sound in it, so I'm not surprised that he got 3rd place. 2nd place, Wellen by Araket. This one did surprise me a little bit because water effect is not that hard to implement, even in 256 bytes. And it just was like a scroller and a water effect. So I don't know why people voted this up, ended up getting 2nd place. It's a nice effect nonetheless, just feels a little underwhelming for 256 bytes. And the winner was Four Seasons by Plex, a worthy winner in my opinion, as multiple scenes inside a single TIC80 effect. So yeah, really cool. Congratulations Plex for winning a 256 bytes intro competition at Deadline 2024. I think it was a pretty solid competition overall, so thank you everybody who participated. Then we go to the 4K Executable Graphics, also had a decent amount of entries. Es lang zu Toten Renat by Imibis getting last place with this Linux entry. Then we had Triangles by KJ, just a very basic triangle scene, more of a compo filler, I believe, by KG. Magla by Writer with this very analog looking imagery, should probably have placed higher. My only critique on why it doesn't place higher is probably because there misses like a narrative of some sort. It's missing some element to give it some more meaning, like, you know, maybe a bird or an object far away that would give it an extra life or extra attention to the viewer. But I do like the post effect on it a lot. Like it looks like a photograph, not executable graphics. Fifth place, Breed by Hene of Avex Connection and the Dreams for the Amiga. In fourth place, Crimson Void, collaboration between Siosai and a Writer, which got fourth place. And I think people underestimate what you need to do to be able to have this. I mean, splines on the background are relatively easy to generate. The post-processing to make them look smudged like that, it can also be a simple shader, but then you start getting into more complicated stuff like the smudges on the cover itself, the composition, including fonts that are not natively available on Windows. So all of these things add a lot, and for me this should have placed higher in the competition. Maybe because I know the authors and I talked a little bit about them, so I understand a little bit more about the technical background of it, but it felt like it should have deserved a higher placing in the competition. In third place, Fly High by Ollie. I don't think this deserved third place. It's a good concept, especially because the theme of the party was a circus, but it's pretty much an SVG being shown. It doesn't have executable graphics technology behind it. So yeah, I could do a long rant about name voting on this one. I like Ollie, I think she's a great artist. I just don't think this image in particular is worthy of third place. Second place, Far Pointer by Daria and NR4, doing this very basic landscape with sky, but with a lot of polishing details on it, which makes it look really cool and realistic. So I think it was a very cool second place. And the winner was Catalog number 65709.jpg by UV of Moonbase and Epoch. Very cool Blaha reference there, but with organic looking and a lot of interesting technique put into this to make it look realistic. So very well made. I think it was a worthy winner of the competition overall. So yeah, there was the 4K Executable Graphics competition at Deadline. A lot of good entries there as well. Then moving on to the animation video entry, only 4 entries. All of them were pretty okay, very interesting. Mikaleos here with a funny word mangling sort of intro, which people really found it funny at the party. Then in third place, Deutschbahn Mindful Experience, making a little bit fun of the state of affairs on Deutschbahn being a bit unreliable for people who try to use it. Getting third place for Poo Brain, nice little handmade animation. Shadow Vortex and Oscilloscope demo by Buzz Error Collective, using different kind of effects, but all based around oscilloscope to do this a little bit psychedelic sort of video. And in first place, Crystal Dynamics by No Gapto No Bacteria, doing some macro shots of some crystals, but in very high quality and really good presentation. So I think it was a worthy winner of the competition overall. Congratulations everybody who participated. Then we had a special fast competition, the bicolor challenge, where you could use 2 colors without gradients in between them, and only 2 colors for the duration of the demo. And you had to make a demo with a specific soundtrack provided by Wayfinder that was only revealed 24 hours before the deadline, I believe. And some people ported the music to other systems as well, had a little bit of extra work recreating the music. So that makes for an interesting variety of platforms as well on this challenge. In sixth place, there was a Game Boy Advance port of the soundtrack with a couple of effects. Unfortunately, there's no screenshot available as of yet. A bunch of 3D cubes by Vorpo done for the Nintendo DS, I believe. Fourth place, we had the Chromas group by Moonbase. In third place, Monovision by BionFX and T-Drinker doing a port for the TIC-80 fantasy console. In second place, Livre by Still, using the Tool 3 tool of Still to do this nice little version. And the winner was LJ and Wayfinder with the same titled demo Bicolor Challenge. And those were the results of the Bicolor Challenge at Deadline this year. They had a few other fast competitions, including the fast painting competition, where you had some actual paints and canvases that you could use to paint some stuff. In last place, No Name by Looks. You had to follow the theme, which was a nerd circus. No Name by Looks getting 17th place. Then Chopez by Lava. Ein Tantal Free by Merlocin and myself. Untitled by T-Drinker with this homage to the Amiga. Untitled 2 by Merlocin and PS. We did multiple things. And a finger painting there by Louisa, contribution. Contortion Disc by Miscontrol, also a good take on the theme. Then Untitled by a Writer. Like I Could Take on the Circus by Nulo K with some reference to Day of the Tentacle there. Another collaboration between me and Merlocin. Data Juggler by Raccoon Violet. Amiga by Terabytes. Natural Chaos by Angie. Look, We Were All Bronies at some point by Jasper. Clowns by Hippo, I particularly like this one. Das Müssen wieder durch by Wayfinder, which, as far as I understood, was a 3D version of the same title, because this theme in particular had been already used at another German demo party a few years back. And Wayfinder won that one, so he tried to do a 3D version of the same image that he used back then to participate on this one in particular. So interesting take on the theme. Second place, Daten Jongler by Ollie with the Amiga Ball and jungling some discs. And in first place, Fortune by Oni of Poo Brain. Not sure what I can say about this except that it's awesome. So yeah, congratulations, Oni. Then we had also the Freestyle Graphics, where you could bring some pre-prepared graphics into the table. 11th place was for The Art of Humanity by Herdwick. Then we had Radioactive Brain, a 3D modeling thing by Amir Nasiri. Bryce Attempt by Mikaleos, getting 9th place. Then Pet the Dog by Writer with his custom drawing tool. Literally Jew by Writer of Moonbase, also another thing done using his drawing tool. 6th place, Enchantment by Beck's Border, a more fantasy-based drawing. In 5th place, Abandoned East by Zden of Satori, with some photographs being mashed up together. Encounter by Particle, awesome drawn image by some of the Finnish representatives that came to Deadline this year. Could have won a combo very easily on any other party. Ended up getting 4th place at Deadline because of the competition being so fierce as it was. In 3rd place, Sakura by Darky, as you can see, also a stunning image. Great concept, great execution, really good image as well. 2nd place, Night Raid by Oni, also extremely good concept and execution. And you might be wondering what was the winner. Was Ollie with some hand-stitched thing. So you can't really beat the hours that it takes to hand-stitch something together, and she ended up getting the 1st place for her creative use of the competition, and making reference to the party theme itself as well, the 10th anniversary of Deadline. So congratulations, Ollie, on winning the Freestyle Graphics competition. Then they had another fast competition where you could assemble some Legos, and the best one would win. A lot of entries, so I'm gonna skip through them. So yeah, just a fun competition for you to do. Have to sit down around the bench with some friends and do some funny things. Fourth place, Meow by Terabates. In third place, Alehop by Miriam. In second place, Never Look Down by Ollie. And the winner was Killer Clown by Ketu. Then we had a Mate-Light animation and graphics competition. So Mate-Light is this 40 by 16 display that is actually made with bottles of Club Mate. It was done originally for this sea-based hackerspace that exists in Berlin, and they brought it, or made a version of, to be at the Orvo house, so they used it for a competition as well. So in this case, you had to do an animated GIF using 40 by 16 pixels, and it was shown in the actual, using bottles instead of pixels. Here we see the screenshot with the pixels himself. In the 11th place, an animation by Microlair. In 10th place, an animation by Imibis called Bus Error. In 9th place, Miois by Wulshin, a cat doing some blinking eyes. Sub-bottle rendering by Bus Error, or Bus Error Collective, getting some 8th place. In 7th place, Subliminal Messaging by Yugasine. 6th place, Funky Materishan by Nodepond and Doc K. 5th place, The Dream by Magician and Plex. 4th place, Waves Effect by Nameless Nils. 3rd place, Best Regards by Epics of Solaris Agency. 2nd place, Mate Go Round, a very good take on the party's theme of this year by Raccoon Violet. And the winner was the Clown's Great Mini Bike Extravaganza by CP, with a rather complex animation of doing a loop around the trip. So good use of the resolution as well. Last year, static images were mixed with animated images, so this year they tried to split it up into 2 different competitions. Static images only had 3 entries. 10th Anniversary on Fire by Nulo K, which is a bit hard to actually read on the bottles themselves. Wake Up by Drees of Amid, which for me should have won the competition. And then first place, probably because it makes reference to the Commodore 64, A Day at the Beach by Amitak of the Solaris Agency, which looks okay here, but on the bottles you could, it was really hard to understand what it actually was. So yeah, that's why I prefer the second one, but personal opinions. So congratulations to Amitak for winning the Mate-Light picture competition. And now let's move on to the Oldschool Demo competition, which had quite a lot of entries. In last place, a compo filler made by the Twitch Elite, making fun to the fact that Virgil seems to be credited in almost all of the Amiga intros made nowadays. In 12th place, an invitation for Silly Venture Winter Edition by Buddy and PPS. Then we had a couple of ZX Spectrum entries, both of them I think referring to the fact that that Demodulation that was happening on the same weekend in Russia did not have Demoscene competitions this year. So Holex, the party version by RMDA, was released at Deadline. Also, Cool Corkscrew by Resistance for the Amiga was released here. Scroll Block by Automata Labs was another of those entries made by Russian people submitting remotely while they were at Demodulation in Russia itself. Very nice, small little demo, just a couple of effects there, more like of an animation player than proper effects, but very good looking nonetheless, so well done Automata Labs. Then we had Sovgliglag by the Solaris Agency, just a very simple Commodore 64 intro. Fastline 24, Tides of Fortune by Desire, also for the Commodore 64. Terrican by Grapey, a more experimental looking Amiga intro, very glitched up. This was like the only image that was not glitched up like hell. I didn't understand the concept between the Terrican and the glitch part of the demo itself, but I found it funny, so I guess kudos for that. Moving Balls by Blazon, also very interesting demo for the Commodore 64 on the illusions of how balls move around and make some geometric shapes moving. Debug Your Code by Padua, an invitation for the transmission demo party that's happening later in November. Then in third place, Fallen Heroes by TRSI, in memoriam for the TRSI members that passed away last year. In second place, 4FX by Spreadpoint, the Swiss Amiga seniors doing a very stylish little demo here for the Amiga. And in first place, Inside the Machine by Desire, targeting the Amiga OCS ECS. A lot of very good looking effects for what the OCS is limited to. Some abuse of ham technology, which I now know a little bit more thanks to Platoon 42 and his demos. But yeah, very good intro, a lot of work put into it, a lot of different scenes, very good looking, some fake 3D stuff, some high resolution, some high colors screens in there as well. There were some mishaps during the presentation that it crashed near the end, despite them having tested it beforehand and running okay like 3 times in a row. It crashed while it was being shown, but everybody realized that it was a really good demo nonetheless, and it just crashed right near the ending, so we didn't really miss that much, just part of the credits. Anyways, very good demo. Congratulations, Desire, on another banger for the Amiga. Well done. Moving on to Oldschool Graphics, we also had quite a big number of entries submitted. Night Circus by Nuloke getting last place, then Taxus by Shani, also for the Commodore 64. An entry for the VIC-20, which unfortunately there is no screenshot of as of yet. Living in the Moment by Raccoon Violet, some pixel art done for the Amiga. Neon Life by Exile of Anubis for the Commodore 64. More Commodore 64 by Ollie, Gone with the Wind is the arm of that little skeleton. Then a Michael J. Zombie by Premec of Boom and Lapsidi, another very stylish Commodore 64 graphics submission. Moving on to Amiga, we had Sure Frog Holmes by Volka of Depth. We Come in Peace by Epix of the Solaris Agency for the Commodore 64. His idea of mascara painted Black Swan Halloween costume by Sapie, very high quality pixel art drawing here. Biomimics 10 by Stefest of Desire, using his custom pixel art tool. Very weird looking kind of scene. I'm interested to see the video making of that he usually does, so I'm interested to see how it evolves to, you know, come up with this concept and idea, and the colors that he chose for this. Second place, Floppy Wanted by Titus of Rabnaug. And in first place, Destina by Critical of How Job Rebels and Sweet 16 with some Commodore 64 graphics here. So congratulations, Critical, a very packed with talent old school graphics competition at Deadline this year as well. Old School Music Competition was won by Danko of Fairlight, followed by Delazy of Triad and Spider Jerusalem. PC 4K intro also had, for me, the winner of the party itself, one of the best 4K intros released lately. But let's start from the ending. In fifth place, we had Code for Me by Vogue, funny text-based little intro for Linux. Then we had also for Linux Le Miracle des Fleurs by Epoch, with this vines growing effect that we already know in the demo scene from a few other productions, more legendary being the Moppy Invitation for Assembly many years ago, but this time made in 4 kilobytes. In third place, Irier Carnival by Rimina, very good 4K intro as well, going along with the theme of the party and having its own unique twist and the characteristic Rimina color scheme that she likes to use so often. Then we had in second place Glowflight by KK of Altero, so very stylish intro, which could easily have won the party if LJ had not participated in collaboration with Purix and made Starseed. It has this very cinematic feeling to it, liminal spaces, a lot of architecture, but at the same time also space scenes. Has a narrative to it, which is very hard to do in 4K successfully. Had a lot of small details, loved the camera work, was really killer 4K, one of the best 4Ks in the year for me. So congratulations LJ and Purix for doing an amazing intro here. Then we had the PC 64K intro competition. In last place, we had Luminosity by Bypass, which felt like they were a bit cheated of a top 3 there. It was quite good, very colorful, very specific style. Also pushing the technology of what WebGL can do here with some ray marching and denoising techniques here. So looked pretty good. I was expecting it to place higher in the competition, and they take full advantage of the whole 64K bytes bytes. In a third place, and only using 8Ks of the 64K bytes, was Night Ride by Alcatraz and Control Alt Test, an intro that they were trying to finish for Evoke but didn't quite manage to finish it, so they finish it now. Had this very synthwave feeling to it. You can really see the inspirations from Drive and other similar movies there. Then in second place, a very old school feeling 64K, but it was not just with old school effects. A lot of them had this modern twist to it, so I did like that aspect. So it's a bit of a reference to old school, using the pixel art, the colors, the typical effects, but having a more modern twist to a lot of them. So I really enjoyed this little 64K by Spectrox. And the winner was FR-210 Attractor by Farbrouge, only actually using 5K, so they were trying to do a 4K but didn't quite manage to fit the size, ending up winning the 64K intro competition. Banger music on this one by Ronnie, very colorful scenes as well. I don't think they should have won the competition. I thought they could have gotten a bit placed lower, but public voting, it is what it is. So congratulations, Farbrouge, for winning the Deadline PC 64K intro competition. Then we come to the PC demo competition. Only 7 entries, and it was played very late into the evening. It started around 5 a.m., so people were already quite drowsy when they got to see the demo competition. In 7th place, Sirens by Slipstream, with some nice little ideas. Could have used a little bit more polish in some scenes, I would say, but overall was pretty solid. In 6th place, A Cubic Trip by Script Kids, a more funny sort of demo. Then in 5th place, Half-Light by Mad Wizards, with the usual Quiero quality and chaser music. I really liked the effect that they had. They had a few weirdness things with the scenes. I felt like way too noisy. I was wondering if that was intentional or not, but the main scene effect, the main effect that it had looked pretty stylish, so I did like that one. Probably maybe a bit too short, and that's why I ended up being punished in terms of votes. I don't know, but I did like the demo overall. In 4th place, International Garage Plus by MFX. Very colorful, following the more party rave sort of vibe of that MFX sometimes gives out. I did like the colors and the feeling of it. The camera cuts in it were also very well placed. It did seem to overstay its welcome a little bit towards the end, probably running out of time to finish the demo to its full effect, but very cool, good looking demo overall by MFX there. In 3rd place, Patience by Still, and I was actually expecting this to win the competition through the sheer amount of work that seemed to have been invested in creating it. The main concept behind it, from what I understood, was comparing old photographs to new photographs of the same place, and making like this architecture reflection over how time affects things. But it was very well executed. A lot of assets in it, a lot of attention to detail. So that's why I was thinking that it would probably win. I was thinking that me and Avis, who do with this demo, Entropy, the invitation for Inertia, would probably get 2nd place. And we did get 2nd place in the end, but not to the demo that I was expecting to win. Anyways, very glitch ambient demo that we did specifically to invite you to come to Inertia Demoparty 6th to the 8th of December in Portugal. I had a lot of fun making this with Navis. He also seemed to enjoy the process. We ended up with a more glitchy thing that we were expecting. We were actually expecting that people would not really like it that much at the party place, but we had a pretty good feedback so far. Like, a lot of people really got immersed into it, which was the main point of doing ambient demos to begin with, and they gave us a lot of positive feedback that they really liked it. Maybe it was because it was shown at 5 a.m. and people were more sleepy and they got more into it. I don't know, but I'm really happy that people liked it. I'm not completely happy with the demo. I don't like the drums in particular in the later part. But I think it was well made at the end, so I hope you come to Inertia Demoparty 2024, 6th to 8th of December. The winner was Pain Gain by Gaspod, a demo using Tool 3 by Still. I like the concept of this, and I think that's what a lot of people resonated with. Like, it tells It makes a demo about AI without telling you what is good and what is bad, just making you think and reflect about it. And it's basically just showing you words with the letters A and I in it, but it's made in a very stylish and polished way. A lot of attention to details, even if the effects are not really very diverse. It's mostly reusing what Tool 3 can do, pretty much, but it was done in a very stylish way and a very motion design attention to it. So I still don't understand why it won, but I guess people really like the concept. So yeah, congratulations, Gaspod. It's a cool demo. I definitely would rewatch it and show it to people who are interested in discussing the AI influence in the world. So yeah, well done, Gaspod. Streaming music competition was won by Danko with Ultramax, and second place to Tio with Amanita, third place to Saga Musics. Textmode Graphics, focusing on text art of different types, had a lot of entries on this competition. All of them are quite good quality overall. Some Petsky artwork, some ANSI artwork as well. It's Been a While, 30 Years by Amblin. Mixed Feelings About Christmas by Sihadison. Plasmatech by Harvey. Bra by The Rook. Hell Driver by Dries. DevLab TSA by Epix. Aurora Europa Tour by Amitech, which I have to zoom in a little bit. So nice little Ashi artwork there. Uptown by Agent of Triad. Steam Locomotive by Aurora B for MS-DOS ANSI. More Petsky by Wall Boom by Chuck of Tom 3000. And a depth logo with obligatory skull and blood for the Commodore 64. Circus of Dreams by The Green Herring, massive ANSI artwork there. Also scroll quickly behind them, making some references to the Amiga ball and the circus itself. Cirque du Orveau by Ollie of Digital Demolition Crew and Pooh Brain. Also a very long ANSI artwork, getting second place. And the winner was One Decade Down, Another to Go by Louisa of Pooh Brain. Very nice little teddy bear there, using all the blocks that you can on MS-DOS ANSI. So congratulations, Louisa, on winning the Textmode Graphics competition at Deadline. Themed photo, you had to do a photo about circus, and I will skip a few of them that you can see here. And the winner was Clownfish by TMA of Abyss Connection, Solaris Agency, and TRSI. Then they had the 3D competition where you had the Red Sea and glasses to see the entry. It was open to all sorts of entries, not just executable, but also static photographs and video. So in last place, Hospital Greetings by Slacks of Quantum, with this photo taken at an hospital, I would guess. Altered Vision by Software Failure, a 64K intro for the Amiga AGA. And some people had some difficulty seeing the stereoscopicness of the entry, and I think that's why it suffered on the voting here on the results. Sixth place, a door made of quicksand, a quick fast demo that I made with Dino, or Dino made all the visuals, I just made the music for it. And fifth place, Mr. Biscuit by Bus Error Collective, with this video entry of a dog with your nose sticking out in 3D. Short Circus by Rift, which was interesting to see TKT being used for stereoscopy. Fuck You by Rebels, also a pretty good little intro, making a lot of good use of the depth of field that the 3D provides. Death Valley by Bod, Luisa, and Oni was an animation also done like a complete roller coaster, but with 3D glasses it really becomes more immersive. And in first place, a worthy winner in my opinion, New Art by Attention Horde for the Amiga OCS ECS. Very good use of perspective. They had some effects that really used very well the back plane to front plane dynamics that glasses permit, so very well done Loso here. Tracked music competition was won by Glow of Saka Music, second place to Bacter. Then last but not least, we had a wild competition, only 3 submissions, but pretty good overall. Machine Divinity by Emphasis, a banger demo for TIC 80. Then we had We Are Outdated by Vurpu for the Wii U. And the winner was Tactical Transmissions by Pattern Syndicate, mixed in music disc for the Amiga OCS, made by Hoffman and Friends. Very good music, very good interface, so a worthy winner of the competition overall. Also worth mentioning is that they had a fast sketching competition on the first day of the party. We had 4 different people using their favorite drawing software, and we got a theme picked from the audience, and they would try to draw it within half an hour, I believe, for each prompt. So it was a bit of an human prompt drawing sort of thing. A lot of creativity in that competition, and was really cool to see. And that was it for this year's Deadline. Had a lot of fun there. Hope to see some party reports shortly after, and do consider going there next year if you can. I think it's a very cool party, very cool location. So yeah, definitely worth visiting Berlin for Deadline. Then we had Demodulation that also took place on the same weekend. They didn't have that many Demoscene competitions. They only had a couple. One of them was to do some real-time basic coding for the BK0010. Then we had the real-time ZX Spectrum 53C graphics mode competition using the block characters of the Spectrum with a checkerboard pattern, and you can use a different background and foreground color to have this specific halftone sort of color on it. There are some basic editors online that allows you to draw very quickly, and so this competition had a record-breaking and of 409 entries overall. I think there was a theme to the actual entries, but I'm not sure which one it is, so you can try and guess it by looking at the different things. A lot of things flying, so maybe something with space. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, adding to Demozoo all of the single entries. I hope it doesn't break any of the software, but people really seem to have a lot of fun drawing them, so why not? And for those who don't know, Demodulation takes place at the Yandex Retro Museum, and so you can see all sorts of the different machines exposed there, and this is one of the they had some talks and things like that, so the event was around mostly about talks and people visiting the museum, and some small creative competitions like this one. And some people were advocating for having proper Demoscene competitions as well at Demodulation this year, but they submitted the entries to Deadline instead. So yeah. So that's all I wanted to say about Demodulation. Hope to see a party report of some sort being provided later on. There were a few other parties that happened this weekend as well. Flash Party, I'll cover it next week because I haven't had time to take a look at all of the entries, even though most of the screenshots are already added on Demozoo. Thank you for the organizers who did that work. I'll save it for next week's report. We also have Blackbirdie, which official results and releases are not uploaded yet. If someone can poke Wix to take care of that, that would be great. Demo Hasaka 2024, same thing. We're still missing some entries. If someone can ping Papu to please upload them to Synth.org, that would be awesome to review as well. And then we have a few other upcoming parties happening soon. Alternative Party coming this next weekend. Syntax happening in Melbourne, Australia. Always has some very cool releases as well. Something I forgot to mention that's happening here in Portugal. Associação Inercia, which promotes Inercia Demoparty, is going to Festa do Software Livre, an event dedicated to open source software, and we are going there to promote the Demoscene, giving a presentation what the Demoscene is and some workshops using open source tools that are used to make demos. If you want to join us, come to Aveiro 12th of October. We are going to be there all day. We have a special room dedicated for Demoscene activities, so come meet us there. And then a few other bigger parties happening in November. Zoo promises to be a very big Commodore 64 party in Finland. I heard of some people in Germany that were talking about traveling to Finland specifically for Zoo party. Comparade happening in Germany at the same time. Demo Splash happening in the United States. Sessions in Japan. Transmission online Commodore 64 party. 30N small demo party in Spain. And Experience single day demo party show in Budapest. A few other demo parties happening in December as well. Silly Venture happening in Gdansk in Poland dedicated to the Atari. And we have Inertia 2024 here in Portugal. If you want to visit Almada 6th to the 8th of December, please don't forget to come. And we will also have the Not Tomb demo party happening at the end of the year in Germany. So yeah, still a lot of Demoscene activity happening. Please try to visit a demo party near you or participate in a competition remotely if you cannot. That's it for this video from me. Hope you had a great time and you found some interesting things. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video with a friend. And if you really liked what you saw, you can also sponsor me something financially through patreon.com/psenough. Special thanks to Plex who provided this awesome background. If you have any backgrounds that you would like to send me that I can use on future episodes, that's also a very good way to contribute to this report. So yeah, keep that in mind. Other than that, hope you have a great day. Bye bye everybody. Take care.